Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy with part 3 of our Daisy Golden Eagle video series. This is gun number 2 of a 2-gun set that is actually complete, has the scope on it. It does suffer from the same problem that the first gun, which we've covered in 2 other videos, suffered from. And to recap that issue, we'll do this. We're going to cock the gun. God, that's got a spring in it. Has no seals. That sharp slap, if steel on steel, tells you everything you need to know. It ain't got no seals. So we're going to take this one apart, and before we do that, we're going to give them a little shot of Kroil on all our contact points so that we don't have such a rough time getting it apart. Hey, look at this one. It's got all 3 nuts on this one. And these nuts have enough copper left on them to see that they were actually copper plated. I wonder what the inside looks like on this one. All right, so step 1, let's pull those nuts off and see how bad they fight us. They don't. This is good. So somebody's been in a gun before.
Yeah, I was going to say that also means that just someone's been in it more recently than you.
Yeah. Well, we learned that when we pulled the other one apart and discovered that it had a rubber compression cup, or a synthetic compression cup, but did not have an abutment washer, or excuse me, abutment seal. So I'm expecting to find the same exact condition in this gun. We're going to start with the removal of the scope, which isn't a scope. We're going to take that top stock screw out, and then we're just going to lift it off the gun. Brutally simple design. But it does have the desired effect. You can almost convince yourself you're looking through a scope. Done fiddling over there?
It fell off and I put it back on. I want to pay attention to this more.
I would prefer you paid attention to this one, and don't worry about the vice jaw. We can correct that. Once again, copper plating is resident, or almost apparent. Yeah, you can see some down in the slot. So now to remove the scope, you delicately lift up the rear and pull it off. It doesn't get much easier than that. Let's get a close-up of this bad boy. This is the only marking on the gun. This is a number 50 Daisy Golden Eagle. It's actually a 155 chassis, but or receiver, but that's what they decided to call this version. Plymouth, Michigan. And this is probably the rarest Daisy part there is. To find one on a gun is pretty unique, and to find them solo for guns that don't have them, kind of hard. And that's the front attachment point. Back here is where it bolts to the gun, and you'll notice that the spring stop has a relief cut in it, to accept this tube. So nice kit of engineering. Can you look down the little hole there?
Yeah.
That tiny little hole is a peep sight. So this is kind of like a tube peep sight.
All right.
That's enough.
Yeah, keep moving.
All right. yeah, we know all about that. We know. All right, so we're going to take off the buttstock first. We're going to reset our screwdriver to get a wider blade. I'm hoping it's narrow enough to fit that slot. You want to be really careful when you work with these old screws because you won't find new ones. And I guess you could copper plate another old one if you needed to. See, copper plated. Everything's copper plated. Ain't that cool? So what we're going to do now is pop that out. And that one's fighting with me. Oh, okay, you can fight. I'll take the lever off next. Most likely the bolt that holds the trigger in place is squeezing the upper receiver a bit, so it'll relieve some of that tension. And then the buttstock should slide right out of there. Still in there. There we go.
There you go.
Trigger return spring looks good. And once again, let's see, our other bolt had a number stamped on it.
Yeah, let's see.
Our other lever did, but this one don't.
Oh. Interesting. Huh. Well.
Okay, still magnetic, so. That's odd. The other one had a number 14 on it. A proud one, too. Which you normally don't see numbers on these things.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's steel because cast iron doesn't wear bright like that. Anyway, steel lever. Let's go ahead and finish this and get this out of the way. Pull our trigger out. It's also plated. Really cool. Now what we're going to do is pull the plunger assembly out And to do that, we'll put it over here on the vise. After I bend down, oh God, that's a long way away.
Sorry.
And we'll get that in the gun, or get the gun in the vise. And then we'll take our mainspring compressor and compress the mainspring. And once we get that done, we'll drop the spring stop itself. Ooh, that is a stiff spring.
Put your weight into it.
Let me take a look at something real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's lined up. Let me do this. Make sure I'm parallel with the plunger assembly. I'm going to go with the thicker stems. That is in there.
Oh, you almost got it out.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to go to Plier Town.
Oh, I'm in pliers. We needed the pliers. Pliers attached. And push.
There we go. All right, spring stop's out. I don't see any traces of it being copper plated. It's got that black oxide finish. That might be a replacement part. I couldn't tell you. All right, so next we take our screwdriver.
Where'd you put the screwdriver?
They're all on the bench now. We don't have to go hunting. And pull the plunger assembly out. And I'm pretty confident we'll see that this gun suffers from the same problem that the other gun had, which is no abutment washer.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, that's a leather seal.
That's leather. And do we know why it is, boys and girls? Because it rotted out.
Well, it dried out and then got
Dried out.
slammed into pieces.
'Cause
Note that
organic
it
matter goes away.
note that it has a brass air tube.
Ooh, that's fanciful. We love.
You know, and I couldn't tell you. Here's the slot. The air interior, the intake here is just packed full of
Oh yeah.
crumbled leather.
Nice.
So we're gonna have to put a new